Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Sunday, the 22nd of November. And boy, oh boy, do we have a packed show for you this morning. We're going to bring an update on how New Zealand A are going against the West Indies in that tour match down in Queenstown. We have a new signing for the Warriors. We have rugby news from the Mitre 10 Cup, the Rugby Championship, the Autumn Nations Cup and Super Rugby as well. Yes, lots with the Super Rugby signing there. Lots of news there. Also, we have news in the boxing around the fights here in New Zealand. Basketball, the 18 and 18 continued, and also there's rumours about where Steve Adams will be playing going forwards in the NBA. We'll bring you up to date with how the Joburg Open is going in the golf, and we'll also bring up to speed with the Premiership football, Premiership hockey results, and we also have some cycling news about where a couple of our female cyclists will be applying their trade next season. So let's kick off then with that cricket news. And New Zealand A made a good start on day one, declaring for 308, and then also getting the solitary wicket before the close to reduce the West Indies to 60 for 1. On day two though, and you got to say the West Indies recovered well to reach 329 for 6. So yeah, good recovery there by the West Indies to take a first innings lead at stumps. Still one more day to go today. So let's see what will happen. Obviously, a draw looks to be on the cards with only 1 day left and only 9 wickets falling in the first 2 days for that one. Also, we had the first round of the Halley Burton Johnson Shield Games, which is the women's 1 day domestic competition. The Central Hinds had a cracking victory over the Auckland Hearts, bowling Auckland Hearts for just 49 runs. And they knocked those off comfortably, just for the loss of 3 wickets to win that one. Canterbury Magicians put up a big total of 321 for 4, and Otago Sparks couldn't get near that one again, losing 213 for 8 after 46 overs. The Wellington Blaze made it to 169 for 7, and lost to Northern Districts, who got to 172 for 8. That was reduced to 43 overs each, and with just 2 balls to spare, Northern Districts got over the line there for the loss of 8 wickets in that one. There are more games today where they double up and play the same teams yet again. So you can catch those games today. I say 1 day matches in the women's national competition. Moving on then to the Warriors, and Bailey Saronin has signed a 3-year contract with the New Zealand Warriors, coming from South Sydney there. So congratulations to him. Was playing for the Rabbitohs this year, making 19 appearances in that one. So the young player there, and we'll see how he'll go. He's the 7th new addition to the squad now that has been made by the new head coach Nathan Brown, as he reshapes the squad. Over in the rugby then, and we had a tight game in the Rugby Championship between the Wallabies and the Pumas. No tries last night in that one, as it finished 15-all in the end. Hodge had a late penalty on 77 minutes to win it, but that was his only miss of the night. To be fair, Sanchez also missed one as well. Rain didn't help in the second half, but yes, that Argentinian defence yet again proved to be very, very difficult to break down last night. A yellow card just after half-time didn't help them, but as I say, they still fought through to a 15-all draw there. That now means that all three teams all three teams are on 6 points. New Zealand and Australia both having played 3 games. Argentina just the 2. So next up, Argentina to face the All Blacks, and then they'll be followed by the Wallabies Pumas yet again. So 2 more games to go in the Tri-Nations, and currently, as I say, all the teams on 6 points in that one. Over in the Mitre 10 Cup, and we had the final 3 semi-finals to see who would be joining Northland in the finals. First up in that, who would Northland be playing? Would they be playing Hawke's Bay or Taranaki? And a dominant display by Hawke's Bay there, winning that one 59-23. So yes, Hawke's Bay really put on a show after only winning by a single point against Taranaki the previous weekend over in the Naki. In the return fixture, dominant there for Hawke's Bay. So Hawke's Bay will host Northland next Friday night at 6:30 p.m. a new time for the finals. Auckland beat Waikato in a tight one there, came right down to the wire, 23-18. Waikato had the ball at the death there, just and marched all the way up the field just to lose it short of the line. So they didn't quite manage to have that fairy tale ending there. Tasman in a lower scoring affair against beat Bay of Plenty 19-10, just keeping their necks in front there to a 2-score win for them. So Tasman will make the trip up to Auckland next Saturday again for a 6:30 kickoff in that one. So that it finishes in time so we can get home before the what do you call it? The All Blacks Test match. Over in Europe for the Autumn Nations Cup, and England took on Ireland this morning at 4 a.m. And came out on top 18-7. That perhaps the scoreline shows that it was closer than it was, because England were leading 12-0 at half-time, took an 18-0 lead, and only a try in the last 5 minutes, or just about 5 minutes from time, for Ireland to score that one there. So England beating Ireland in that one. Currently, Wales are playing Georgia as we speak, and they are currently leading 10-0 in that one. In Super Rugby, signing news, and it's expected that the Chiefs will announce the signing of Bryn Gatland on a multi-year deal. His father's obviously off to Warren Gatland's off to coach the Lions next year, and Clayton McMillan, the Bay of Plenty coach, will be taking over. But still, Warren Gatland has been instrumental in that signing. Bryn Gatland had a good season with North Harbour in the Mitre 10 Cup, being one of the leading points scorers. The Chiefs need to make signings after both Aaron Cruden and Ty Falcon both head over to Japan to play next year. Ty Falcon only 22, heading over there. That's shown a new trend of players heading overseas at a younger age. In the boxing, and the Joseph Parker Jr. Far bout has been delayed due to injury. So Junior Far, after having tests ahead of the fight, requires surgery, and they're hoping that they can reschedule the fight for either late February or early in March next year. announcement expected on Monday in that one. Over in the basketball, it looks like Steven Adams will be leaving the Oklahoma Thunder with already key players having been traded. There are talks that he is in. That talks are that he is going to be traded to the New Orleans Pelicans for next season, as the Oklahoma City Thunder go through a rebuilding rebuilding style. Over in the 18, and I just can't find the results in this one, where the Capital beat Wellington. Wellington go back to two defeats. There we go. Capital Swish beat Wellington Wildcats 55-42 in that one. So a 13-point win, comfortable for the Swish over the Wildcats. And tonight, the Swish will be taking on the Breeze up in Auckland, the Harbour Breeze, who made it to the final of the 3x3 down in Southland, and are one of the pre-tournament favourites, along with the Dream and the Wizards. So it'll be interesting to see how the Swish go against the Breeze after a good start, a good win over the Wildcats. Over in the golf, and as we said, the Joburg Open is on currently, and they've come through to the end of the third round. Nabar still going well at the top of the table. He's at 16 under par, but Hansen, the Norwegian, had a very good round in round three, shooting 7 under par to finish at 15 under par. Just one shot back is the main challengers. There's a further 4 shots back to a chasing group. So Nabar and Hansen got a nice little lead heading into the fourth round there at the Joburg Open. Moving on then to the football. And we had action in both the men's and the women's Premiership yesterday. In the men's, Team Wellington got themselves their second win with a 2-1 victory over Hawke's Bay at home, whereas Wellington Phoenix headed up to Waitakere United and won that one 1-4. A win and a loss for the Wellington Phoenix so far this season. Hawke's Bay on 2 losses, waiting for their first win. Waitakere United also on 1 loss and 1 win there in that one. Over in the women's Premiership, we had wrong week. We had 2 games yesterday. Capital Football beat Waipo 1-0, and Canterbury United had a big win over Central Football 6-0 in that one. Meaning that Canterbury United keep their pressure on Auckland, who are top of the table now. Waipo, Central Football, and Southern United all looking for their first wins. Waipo and Central both have a draw in there, but they're still looking for their first wins of the season, 4 rounds in. Over in the hockey, and it was the men. The men were in action again yesterday. The Tridents fell to the Falcons 3-1. That's back-to-back wins to the Falcons after a 2-1 win over the Alpiners 2 days ago. And the Mavericks beat the Alpiners again, who beat the Tridents 2 days ago. In this one, it was 2-2 at the end of the game, and the Mavericks won it 2-1 in overtime against the Alpiners. So both the Mavericks and the Falcons have now started with 2 wins. They go head-to-head today at 2 p.m. You can watch that on Sky Sports Next, or you can head over to the game. It's free entry in Hamilton. Before that will be the Tridents versus the Alpiners. 2 sides both looking for their first win at midday. Over in the cycling, and it is in the off-season at the moment, But it's been a tough season for a couple of our top female cyclists with the team they used to play, they used to cycle for, Pro Team Equipe Paul Carr, having to basically shut down because Paul Carr, the fashion house, went into liquidation, and they couldn't pay their sponsorship to the team, and so the team unfortunately had to close. That meant that Naomi Fisher-Black was in limbo, but she has now announced that she has got a new team for next season, which is fantastic to hear. She will be cycling for world champion Anna Verder-Breggen's team Bowles Dolmans next year, which Bowles Dolmans is what they're called this year. Next year they're called SD Works next year. So a good home for her. We understand, or the understanding is that also Michaela Harvey, who also rode for Equipe Paul Carr, has got a contract, but for next year, but that hasn't been announced which team it's with yet. So we wish them both good seasons next year after what was a very up and down season this year. Both performing well for Paul Carr, but unfortunately, obviously, with COVID and then also Paul Carr shutting down, it's been a real up and down year for the two riders there. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news. Don't forget to join us at 8 p.m. this evening, where we will be reviewing all the Mitre 10 Cup action. That's 15-all draw between the Pumas and the Wallabies, as well as all of the other rugby actions of the weekend. Sorry, I forgot to mention that also the Black Ferns were in action yesterday against the New Zealand Barbarians, and they a much tighter game than the previous week. This one finished 19-17 there. So fighting effort by the New Zealand Barbarians against the Black Ferns in their build-up to the Women's Rugby World Cup next year here in New Zealand. So have a great day, everybody. You've now started the day the best way, up to speed with all of the important sports news.